Pre-season testing is supposed to be meaningless. No trophies, no champagne, no official lap times. And yet, every single lap in Barcelona has sent shockwaves through the Formula One paddock. While the spotlight exploded around Lewis Hamilton topping the timesheets in his Ferrari, something far more dangerous was unfolding quietly in the background. Mercedes weren't chasing headlines. They were building something far more powerful. Relentless reliability, massive mileage, and a package that insiders are already whispering could dominate the new era of Formula One. At the same time, Aston Martin finally rolled out Adrian Newey's first creation, only for it to barely survive a handful of laps. Red Bull disappeared after a crash. McLaren showed flashes of pace but remained strangely cautious. And Ferrari delivered fireworks with Hamilton at the very top. But does fastest really mean strongest? Or are we watching the early signs of a Mercedes master plan unfolding in silence? If you want deep analysis, hidden patterns, and the real story behind the headlines of the 2026 season, make sure you subscribe now, because what's happening in testing could define the next decade of Formula One. Let's start with the headline everyone is talking about: Lewis Hamilton in Ferrari, P1 in Barcelona. While Lewis Hamilton's late flyer for Ferrari grabbed the headlines, the deeper story of Barcelona testing points towards something far more significant unfolding beneath the surface. Pre-season lap times may excite fans, but in Formula One's history, it's almost always the teams that master reliability, mileage, and early understanding of new regulations who go on to dominate entire eras. And right now, no one has done that better than Mercedes. Over 3 days of running, Mercedes accumulated an astonishing 502 laps, more than 2,300 kilometers, the equivalent of nearly 8 full Grand Prix distances. That's not just impressive, it's strategic dominance. In a brand new regulatory era, every lap is data, and every kilometer is an advantage. While rivals faced delays, crashes, and technical teething issues, Mercedes ran almost flawlessly, executing their full testing program exactly as planned. Andrew Chauvelin's comments confirmed what the numbers already suggest. The W17 isn't just quick, it's reliable, adaptable, and already solving early challenges. And then there's the growing whisper around Mercedes' power unit. For over a year, rumours have circulated that Mercedes may have discovered a regulatory loophole that gives them a performance boost under the new engine rules. With both pace reports and massive mileage now backing up that speculation, it's becoming increasingly hard to ignore. According to unofficial reports, Mercedes topped the timing charts on all 3 of their running days, quietly without the fanfare Ferrari received on Friday. This pattern feels eerily familiar. We've seen it before in 2014 when Mercedes entered the hybrid era fully prepared while rivals scrambled to catch up. The same thing happened with Red Bull in the 2022 regulation reset. Early dominance usually isn't accidental. It's the result of long-term planning and technical clarity. And right now, Mercedes look frighteningly ahead of the curve. That said, Ferrari's performance cannot be dismissed. Hamilton's 348 lap wasn't just the fastest of the test. It was shockingly close to last year's Spanish Grand Prix qualifying pace, despite entirely new cars and regulations. Both Hamilton and Leclerc consistently ran near the front on the final day, suggesting Ferrari's 2026 car is not just capable of quick single laps, but also balanced and stable across runs. This represents a massive turnaround from Ferrari's struggles in last year's pre-season testing. Back then, even with stable regulations, the team faced numerous reliability and performance concerns. Now, Leclerc has confirmed that while development remains ongoing, reliability is no longer a major worry. That alone puts Ferrari in a far stronger position heading into Bahrain. Hamilton's move to Ferrari is already paying dividends in terms of focus, development direction and confidence. His experience in building championship-winning projects could be helping Ferrari avoid the early season chaos that has haunted them in past regulation changes. If Ferrari can match Mercedes in long-run consistency while maintaining their raw speed, we may finally see a true title fight from the Scuderia. McLaren, meanwhile, remain one of the biggest question marks. Their overall mileage looks underwhelming compared to Mercedes, but the final day offered a glimpse of serious pace. Lando Norris briefly topped the times with a lap only a fraction shy of Russell's benchmark before switching into long-run simulations. That transition is telling. Teams only focus on race runs when they're confident in the car's baseline performance. This suggests McLaren may be hiding more than they're showing, a strategy they've used successfully in previous seasons. While they haven't chased headline times or massive mileage, their quiet confidence could indicate a well-rounded package that will come alive once performance testing begins in Bahrain. Red Bull's situation is more concerning. After a promising start to the test, everything unravelled with Isaac Hadjar's crash on day 2 in wet conditions. The car disappeared from public view until the final day, when Max Verstappen finally returned and logged heavy mileage. While Verstappen finished 5th on the leaderboard, the disruption is far from ideal. In a regulation reset, consistency is everything. Lost track time means lost data, and lost data often means delayed development. Red Bull have built their recent dominance on relentless efficiency, so any early setback, even a small one, could open the door for rivals like Mercedes and Ferrari to pull ahead. Was Hadjar's crash just bad luck? Or did it hint at underlying instability in Red Bull's new design? It's too early to say, but the timing couldn't be worse in a phase where every lap matters. Then there's Aston Martin, easily the most dramatic storyline of the entire test. The long-awaited debut of Adrian Newey's first Aston Martin creation was supposed to signal a new era of technical brilliance. Instead, it resulted in just 5 laps before the car reportedly broke down. The AMR26 emerged late, unpainted, rushed, and clearly still in early development. But despite the lack of running, what little was seen has already sparked intrigue among analysts. The car features an unusually large nose cone, aggressively sculpted side pods with extreme undercuts, narrow high air intakes, and what appears to be bold suspension geometry. This is classic Adrian Newey, pushing regulations to their absolute limits in search of aerodynamic advantage. Now paired with Honda as a full works partner, Aston Martin can integrate power unit and chassis design more closely than any customer team ever could. In theory, this should allow for radical solutions that maximize airflow, cooling, and packaging efficiency. But the risks are massive. Honda's mileage is by far the worst of any power unit manufacturer, just 5 laps across the test. Even Audi, entering Formula One from scratch, managed significantly more running. Honda has already admitted it was behind schedule after reversing its decision to leave the sport, and that deficit may now be showing. With a brand new engine, an in-house gearbox built for the first time in 2 decades, and Newey's extreme design philosophy, Aston Martin have changed almost everything at once. That level of transformation can either produce a revolutionary machine or trigger months of reliability nightmares. Right now, Aston Martin feels like a high-risk, high-reward project. If they solve their early issues quickly, Newey's car could shock the grid. If not, they could spend the first half of the season simply trying to stay competitive. When we step back and look at the bigger picture of Barcelona testing, a clear narrative begins to form. Ferrari delivered the headline moment with Hamilton's P1. McLaren hinted at hidden speed. Red Bull faced unexpected disruption. Aston Martin teased radical innovation, but struggled badly with reliability. But Mercedes quietly laid the strongest foundation of all, In Formula One's new eras, the team with the most preparation, data, and technical stability almost always comes out on top. And right now, Mercedes are ticking every box: pace, reliability, development progress, and strategic execution. If Bahrain confirms these trends, we could be witnessing the early stages of another Mercedes-led era, with Ferrari finally positioned as a true challenger, McLaren lurking as dangerous outsiders, and Red Bull unexpectedly playing catch-up. Barcelona may not have crowned a winner, but it may have revealed who's truly ready for the 2026 Formula One season. So the real question is this: did Ferrari's P1 signal the start of a Hamilton-led resurgence in red? Or are Mercedes quietly setting up another era of domination while everyone else chases lap times? And could Adrian Newey's risky Aston Martin concept either shock the grid or collapse under its own ambition? Let me know what you think, because Barcelona may have just given us the first clues to Formula One's next great power shift.